Blessed to be a part of your day. Kevin Miller in the morning, KIDO Talk Radio. By the way, I'd be, remiss if I didn't tell you the Kevin Miller cash code words. Code word 1 was turkey. Code word 2 is biscuits. So turkey and biscuits. Joining us now, Nancy Pelosi's favorite, young or not so young conservative, David Bozell For America. Good morning, sir.
What happened to peas and carrots?
Well, you could be the turkey and I'll be the peas and the carrots. How about that?
Well, the president pardoned the turkeys named peas and carrots. I thought we'd sort of go with that. But, hey, turkey and biscuits it is.
But did he pardon?
And no, I don't like meat.
But did he pardon Jim Acosta?
Kinda. He let him back in. I don't know if that was a lawsuit that they were going to win. There were a lot of conservatives who wanted Jim Acosta to drop the lawsuit. I wasn't one of them. I wanted him to go through with it and lose. But the rules, but I put in air quotes, that the president and the White House have sort of outlined here with regards to follow-up questions, they're absolutely right. If you put a stopwatch to some of these reporters, Kevin, I mean, they go on for, you have to get like an Oscars orchestra to play them off stage. I mean, it's just, they go on forever. These questions, and then some of these guys have 2-3 questions at a time, just to make themselves look good in front of a camera. So I think it's going to be healthy to limit these guys to one question at a time, and you're going to get more questions, and you would think that the White House correspondents would appreciate that. So we'll see.
Well, just the tone. There's a lack of respect for the president, and whether it's Jim Acosta, the guy that works for Yahoo, or worked for Playboy that was yelling at Sarah Sanders, you think to yourself, and David, you were born into this life. You've been around D.C. forever, but whether you like a president or not, you have to have respect for the office and for being in the White House. It's
right.
The oddest darn thing I've ever seen.
If it doesn't awe you every time that you're in there, or if you don't pinch yourself, how lucky you are that you're in there to do this kind of work, you probably should get out. And you just get the sense that there's a lot of editors, a lot of bosses at these networks that have told their reporters in the field, told their reporters in the briefing room to make a show and a spectacle of it as much as you can, because that's going to generate the clicks. That's going to make you a trending superstar. I remember I was talking to a producer at CNN. This was, 4 or 5 years ago. And it was a producer of one of the Sunday shows on CNN. And I asked him, I said, how's your ratings? He's like, oh, they're terrible. I think we're last place, but I don't care. We were trending today on Twitter, and that's what matters. And I was, lead producer of a CNN Sunday show. So making news is being in the news. Making news is what matters, not reporting on the news, not investigating the news. I don't think Sarah Huckabee Sanders has any problem with answering tough questions all day long. But just to get badgered personally, I think, and it's just gone too far. And then what's the result, Kevin? The result is none of these folks within the Trump administration can go out in public and go get a meal without being harassed. That's the result. So when the president says, Jim and to Acosta and some of these other guys that they're the enemy of the people because he's pointing to these incidents as a direct result of their harassing of his staff.
What do you make of, let's just continue on with that. I just can't get over the tone. I just, of Jim Acosta, of others screaming and yelling, and Acosta just going back and forth with the president as if, he's the caped crusader, if you will. And you're thinking to yourself, Jim, I really believe you've lost perspective here.
Well, he's, like I said, I think he thinks he has perhaps his bosses have told him to be this guy. Here's the thing about Acosta. I can't think of anything that he's broken in terms of raw news. He seems to sort of stand on the shoulders of other people's reporting. He takes up these crusades instead of reporting. Caravan being the best example of that, best recent example. He's just taken that on as a crusade. He's not down there. He has no idea. But he's just taking liberal talking points and taking that on as a crusade. Whereas you do have raw news reporters, a number of folks at Axios, the New York Times, Washington Examiner, Daily Caller, folks that are breaking news from within the White House. Jim's not one of them. Jim is a television-only show, spectacle. And his job is to be combative. At least that's the way he sees it.
Right.
And that's where these guys have run into trouble. And look, I would not have. I saw the footage of the intern trying to take the mic away. I suppose 50-50 call as to whether or not he was really forceful with that young woman. But, man, if the President of the United States saying, hey, you've asked enough questions, let's pass the mic along, just, sit down and be quiet. Just, move on to the next question, move on to the next report.
Yeah, that's what I don't really get. The issue there involving, they just get so full of themselves as if they want to be responsible for bringing down the president. They do see it that way. They do see it as their job. Yeah, and this is why they blame things like Facebook, right? I mean, one of the untold, well, it's been told, I suppose, but one of the things that the press does not like to admit, they gave the president during his campaign about $3 billion worth of free media. $3 billion with the B. Facebook, the quote-unquote Russians, spent about, reportedly, $120,000 on Facebook, on some memes and things, which is basically the equivalent of dropping a sand pebble into an ocean, when it comes to Facebook advertising. But the press could never, ever look themselves in the mirror and take responsibility for President Trump and his election and the $3 billion worth of free media. They had to find an enemy, and Facebook became that entity for that. And so, I mean, this is just a continuation of that mindset. They are not responsible for any of the animosity or the division in the country. Only Trump is, or if not Trump, a foreign government, a foreign entity. So the animosity you see in the East Room is just an extension of that mentality. David Moselle joining us from For America, foramerica.org. So, in the spirit of the holiday, we'll do some bah humbugging here. And what do you expect of the new Congress?
Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. I mean, this is, we talked before that the country historically prefers divided government. It's going to get that. And in divided government, you don't typically get a whole lot of movement on issues. I think the president will continue to excel on the foreign policy front. North Korea, being top of that list. Perhaps brokering into a Middle East peace agreement. That would be interesting to watch. And then what he can do, coming out of the Oval Office vis-a-vis executive orders, on Obamacare rules and regulations, that'll be important to watch. But in terms of spending appropriations, I think you'll probably get a lot of continuing resolutions as you've had in the last couple of years, or at least more than that, 6 to 8 years. And so, that's in terms of, what we spend our money on, that'll just continue to just be same old. On Democrats will want to investigate them. And I don't know how successful they are. Where I do agree with Kevin McCarthy, I think it's an excellent talking point. That is the investigation of the president, I mean, that's such small thinking. I just don't see how that behooves Democrats to spend every waking moment doing that. But they won't be able to help themselves, so they'll try. So I just don't see anything really big. Perhaps prison reform will be the biggie, but that'll be about it.
What's your take on Mueller?
Gosh, he probably has Roger Stone, some of these guys in his crosshairs. I think if he had something involving the president, it would have come out by now. I think it's all. I mean, I don't even think the president's team, the campaign team, was big enough to even collude with the Russians. That was such a skinny operation, skinnier than people realize. Hillary's campaign was a small city. Trump's campaign was very tiny in terms of staff. I don't think it'll amount to much. And I think, frankly, the window for impact, at least on a political level, has come and gone. Because even if Mueller, it doesn't, at this point, Mueller's almost irrelevant. I think Lindsey Graham was making this point. If he comes out and says, the president is free and clear, well, the Democrats are just going to try to do their own investigation again. If Mueller says, there's something serious here, this indictment, that indictment, well, the Democrats are just going to say, well, that's not enough. We're going to do our own investigation. So the House Democrats investigation becomes the investigation du jour, because, they're just not going to give up. So I think his window for any sort of real political impact has probably come and gone, to be honest with you.
David Bozell joining us, foramerica.org. Kevin Miller in the morning here, KIDO Talk Radio. Do you think this will be our last Thanksgiving because Columbus Day has gone by the wayside? Everything else is, Columbus is a bad person. When are the libs going to start attacking us for eating turkey?
I'm kind of surprised it hasn't happened. I know the liberals, they're practicing about how to talk to your conservative relatives on Twitter. And there's like these self-help things going on Twitter about how to talk to a conservative relative. It's just so ridiculous. I'm kind of stunned that we're going to go through Thanksgiving and hey, I really care a little about the turkey. I care more about my Washington Redskins playing the Dallas Cowboys tomorrow with my newly minted starting quarterback. And we'll see if we can stay on top of the NFC East, which is the most important division in the history of mankind. So.
Hey, this isn't sports slappies in the morning. This is live, serious issues here. You're going off script.
I know, but I'm already in my Thanksgiving holiday doldrums.
You're already in, and you haven't had any turkey. I'm trying to figure out how we can guilt you into, some repression here for even thinking about turkey, for being so indulgent when, we're celebrating what happened there. These people came in, they took over the land, and there you have it. And the poor turkeys.
Well, like I said, I am laser focused on kickoff, 4:30 Eastern time. See how my backup quarterback does. The Redskins, this will be the Redskins' revenge on all things Thanksgiving. Yeah, here, I'm all for it. Yeah, there's my politically incorrect statement for the week.
David Bozell, anything else you'd like to share with us?
Well, I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to All Things Kevin Miller Show. You guys have been terrific for us, giving us the opportunity to preach conservatism. Don't be despondent with Democrats and the media, trying to, bang their drums every day. Get out there on your social media platforms and make the issues you care about go viral each and every day. That's really our charge over the next couple of years, because social media, the internet, this is where the battlefield of ideas is taking place. And so, we need everybody involved, everybody engaged, almost every day. So don't give up. Don't be despondent. Don't pay attention to Nancy. She's not going to have much of an effect on you. go out there and support the president's policies to the extent that you're supportive of them, and be critical to him directly when you're not. He pays attention to that stuff. It's important. He uses this stuff as a poll tester. Go out there and tell him if you think he's straying, and he'll pay attention. Believe me.
You know, go Redskins only because of you, brother.
Hail the Redskins. HTTR. Hashtag HTTR. Go Colt. And I hope.
What have you done to this program?
I hope J.J. Watt.
Oh my goodness.
Just like chokes on a turkey leg for breaking my quarterback's ankle in half.
Yeah.
How about that? There's my ball hung bug.
What is it? 40 years? Not 40 years. 20 years after Lawrence Taylor did that to Theismann.
33 years to the day.
To the
I was
day,
actually
yeah.
at the game on Sunday. You couldn't hear the snap, but you could hear the screams.
Oh my gosh! You're ruining my appetite here.
It was pretty gross. And then we all saw it on our phones, and it was even grosser.
Yeah, David Bozell, thank you very much. Way to stick to the topics today, sir. We appreciate
Happy
you.
Thanksgiving, guys. Appreciate it.
Hold on. I'm just going to say this. Dan Gaynor keeps moving up the charts on you.
Hey, now, wait a minute. Now, Dan's got some semi-interesting things to say, but it's always semi. I mean, come on.
I'm with you,
Dan's
David.
a nice guy, but
He's no you. Happy Thanksgiving, brother.
take care.
All right. David Bozell joining us. Short break. Back in a minute. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. By the way, if you are my friend on Facebook, and it's very easy to do, Kevin Miller, Star, Idaho, you'll see me there. I've posted a video from last year's great Thanksgiving Day banquet. Thanks to Chief Bones, the ever ubiquitous Mike Miniger, Reverend Bill, and others. It really shows you where your turkey donations and your cash donations and your food donations and your clothes donations go. That banquet will be today at the Cathedral of the Rockies. We're going to do our very best to get there. It's one of the highlights of the year, so thank you very much. Gary in Boise, thanks for your patience. You're on with Kevin Miller on KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning. How are you? Hey, it's been a while since I talked with you, since I saw you on election night. And
man, Gary.
Yeah.
Gary, formerly of the Michael Snyder campaign. Yes, go ahead, please.
Yeah, I think now I like to be. I'm a precinct committee person, so I'm calling because of Bonnie. Bonnie has a lot of things that she says that I really agree with, and I was very concerned when I saw the tabulation of all the elections and everybody who won and didn't win, and I was really shocked to see that everything going blue, and I think there was two that didn't, and that should be a wake up call for everybody. And I'm a numbers person. I look at things over the years and see how things are moving along, and I see a pattern here. And there are a lot of districts that have I think gone without any representation or help in getting certain candidates to win or to get out there to run for various offices.
Well, you remember the article in the paper where they blamed the party for not giving anybody any money to run. That was a big article in the paper.
Well, and I would probably say that might be true. I mean, I get very upset with certain things. It can't be a pick and choose. It's got to be, you have to be able to help all the different people who are running on the ticket in an area and in a district. It can't be just certain districts. It should be everybody. I have a district where there's people who are uncontested, from the Democrats. There's nobody running against them. Or we have precincts that have nobody who is representing the people in their precinct. That to me, that's very upsetting. And the thing, there's a playbook that's out there that I got, which really took a very, very long time to get. And I'm not sure if all the precinct committee people in Ada County or such have that. It's out there. I got it, and I looked at it, and I was very open-minded when I got it, but it basically has no meat behind it. It's just pretty much what I thought it was. It's kind of like, how do you get out and vote? How do you get your neighbors to vote? How do you get help to vote? And it's more than just getting people to vote during election. It's a constant helping your community, your district, your neighbors, and keeping them informed and getting out there. I spoke with Tea Party Bob about this quite a bit, and he's a very good mentor. He had some thoughts about the Ada County Republican Party.
So Tea Party Bob is your mentor?
Well, he's a very good mentor.
He's a good boy. Yes. No, I'm just asking. Right.
And I think that, and when I've had questions about things in this kind of topic, I've called him a couple times just to kind of bounce things off him.
So back to the point, though, Gary, where the libs are taking over, and it seems according to Bonnie and others, the Ada County Republican Party is in disarray. Do you agree or disagree?
Well, I'm new at this with being a precinct committeeman. I don't think that would be necessarily qualified to say yes, they are or they're not. But I do believe that there are a lot of things that could be done differently or should be done differently. And I have voiced these things with the state Republican Party, and I've sat down with these people in their office downtown, and they said, yes, you've got some great questions. Yes, you've got some great comments, and yes, we should do that. But do they do things like that? No, I don't think so. So it's more about just votes. It's more about just collecting money or raising money. There's a lot more to that than I believe that should happen, but don't happen necessarily. And again, if you look at the numbers on people, how they voted over the years, and you see a pattern. And I have agreed with comments like, President Trump says, yeah, the Democrats, they stick together. And that's true. They do that. And they're very active about that. But, yeah, they do have a lot of money behind them that is, coming to the table. And they're systematically going to take over each of the states, each of the capitals, and, so forth. So there's a lot of people that need to get out there and be active in their districts and their precincts. I think you've got it. Right. I think you right, Gary. Let me just jump in here for a minute. I think you have to. You got to be organized and focused. And Gary, I got to run, but happy Thanksgiving. Same to you. God bless. God bless. Whew. Kevin Miller in the morning here. Traffic and weather together.
Missouri Gabbard.
More coming up. We'll go live to the White House. We'll take your calls. A lot going on. And President Obama goes after, former President Obama goes after current President Donald Trump. We'll get your reaction. All that before Glenn Beck. Kevin Miller on 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio. Good morning, Maggie.
Good morning, Kevin.
Coming up, John Decker should be joining us from the White House. John will be manning the fort on Thursday and Friday. He does that every year. We so appreciate it. Remember, when you're looking for Fox News on the radio, here in the Treasure Valley, you've got two choices, 107.5 FM and 580 AM. 580 AM, Idaho's first radio station, celebrating our 90th year serving the community. We'll have more on that. And you think about the devices that we have today. Okay, we have our phones, we have our tablets, we have our televisions, but none of that would have been here if it hadn't been for the pioneers in broadcasting, the pioneers in the spoken word. That's what they call it in the radio business. The spoken word. There is no music. There is no filler. There is no anything. There is the ultimate acceptance or rejection of your thought, of your wit, of your wisdom, of everything. And we go back to the past of KIDO Talk Radio. Did you know that unlike any other radio station in the country, KIDO Talk Radio was created by kids from Boise High School? That's right. Kids from Boise High School. And then it survived, and KIDO Talk Radio wasn't only the first AM station, but it was the first FM station. Should we call it? Yeah, let's call it. We'll call it on John Decker. We wish him a happy Thanksgiving. And then not only the first FM station, but the first television station. That's right. Channel 7, KTVB. highly profitable, highly successful, multiple Murrow Award winning. Started out as KIDO Television, owned by the same young lady that owned KIDO Radio. We keep that partnership rolling to this day. But KIDO TV, KTVB, Channel 7. We appreciate this segment of...
I couldn't stop laughing this morning.
Hey.
I couldn't stop laughing this morning.
I don't think he knows he's on the air.
Who, me?
You know, it's getting pretty bad at 580-5436, 580-KIDO. When you go to the Gem State Patriots, Tea Party Bob, gemstatepatriot.com, and we don't even have his attention. I can remember just months ago where he'd be frothing at the mouth, ready to pounce on us. And today, he's distracted. He must be in the holiday spirit. Good morning, Tea Party Bob. Welcome to KIDO Talk Radio. I was just going to say we've concluded our segment of This Day in History.
You are a piece of work, Mr. Miller. I got a few comments about Bonnie's little treehouse this morning. You know, much of what she said is true. There's little activity amongst the Republican precinct committeemen, but
let me just jump in to let everybody know. Bonnie called last hour, and she was worried and still is worried, and rightfully worried about the libs taking over Ada County, concerned about the disorganization in the Ada County Republican Party, and made some valid points that the Republicans are not working while the libs are running wild, pillaging the land.
Much of what she says is true, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that there's less coordination in party efforts to get conservatives elected these days, and I've seen it happen over the past 6 years. You know, one of the reasons is we don't have the same leadership that we used to have, and the state has been, the state party has been in a state of flux for the past 6 years. You know, I've been a committeeman for 4 years and seen the struggle firsthand. As an example, I asked a question of a chairman-elect, and he didn't want to answer the question, so I was literally told to be quiet or lead the committee meeting. Well, that's not exactly what meetings are supposed to be all about. It's supposed to be about talking about problems. And this problem is not going to resolve itself until we oust the crony politicians and the leaders who have been sucking off the government teeth for way too long. You know, we lost a lot of these Ada County elections because we never put up new conservative candidates. Only the same old cronies that have been in for way too long, too many years, and don't want to give up their government jobs because they wouldn't know how to make it in the real world. And I stopped going to a lot of these meetings about a year ago because it became a total waste of time. You know, I drive downtown, sit there for an hour, and drive home, and got absolutely nothing from it.
Well, you've been called out for not doing anything either.
Oh, you mean by that clown that lost the election to me here in my precinct?
Now. Let's not get
personal.
personal.
No names mentioned. You know, I wouldn't mind driving downtown if I could actually get something accomplished, but we don't talk about policies or how to pursue ways of getting our people elected. It's all a lot of bull. And you know me, Kevin. I put all my effort into helping conservatives win elections, either through my own efforts or through the Gem State. And I've been doing that for the last 10 years. I'm not going to help support someone that doesn't show any conservativeness in their policies or in their voting records. We have too many candidates that are driven into office by the big money lobbyists like IACI and the insurance companies who reap the harvest of the higher medical costs and insurance rates, along with higher tax policies that only help the wealthy and the privileged. You know, this is the reason we keep losing elections to liberals. You know, we continue to lose because we're not doing business the way we used to. Just take a look at
let's go back to the solution. Right, let's go back to the solution here. If you were the chairman of the Ada County Republican Party, what would you do?
First, I'd stop talking about how we're just going to raise money or when we're going to have our next event or who's going to run the silent auction at the meeting. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and find out exactly how we're going to win, how we're going to find new candidates, and how we're going to get them financed. That's where it's supposed to be. It's not there. It's not even close.
What did you make of the article in the paper that said that really took the Ada County Republicans to task for not supporting two candidates that lost. They said, look, in the past they've given us money. This time there was no money for us.
Look, the lobbyists have the money. They could put the money into the party if they wanted to. They don't want to. They want to take care of the people they want to take care of. Why do you think we had Butch Otter, who has been a conservative for all these years, 6 years ago, took a hockey stick to the left? And when we get a bill passed to repeal a tax, an onerous tax on groceries, by the House and the Senate, this bozo, he actually vetoes it. I mean, how crazy can you get? You wonder why we're losing elections? This is one of the reasons. If you think things are going to change much with Brad, I doubt it very seriously. I'm praying and hoping that it will, but I doubt it. We need to start electing some real conservatives into this state, because we've been losing to the liberals because there is no coordination. It's the same old people time and time again. They do nothing but work for the lobbyists, and I'm tired of it. I'm not going to deal with it anymore.
Happy Thanksgiving, little buddy.
Hey, buddy, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for all you did for the rescue mission. You're a great person.
Just trying to hang with you, my little buddy.
Take care,
Although,
my friend.
I really can't call you little. You're taller than I am, so.
Not by much.
I take you in the low post any day. Thank you, sir.
Take care.
All right. Patriot Ray joining us. It's like old home day. Tea Party Bob first, and here comes Patriot Ray with a message of love, warmth, compassion. Good morning, sir.
You know, Kevin, we love you so much.
Oh, we love you.
Just
And
an
by
awesome
the way,
individual.
Thank you very much for you and your family once again stepping up and donating and having all the plumbers come out. And, you know, even Junior came out. It's always good to see Junior.
Yes, it is. I missed him that day. I was up in the McCall area, so or Cascade. Didn't get to hear it. But I wished I could have. But it was okay. You know, I just wanted to wish you and your family a very happy Thanksgiving. What a wonderful opportunity we can give the mission. What a wonderful thing that we have in this valley. The people that give in this valley are just so awesome. And there are a lot of people who suffer right here at home. And to be able to do a little bit to help them, it gladdens my heart. It makes me feel good. We can't do a lot, but we love what we're able to do. And my wife and I and my family, we just love to give where we have the opportunity to do so. Kevin, you make that possible. For all the years that we've been involved, we are so grateful for you, KIDO, and just that you're there to help us, to give us the good news once in a while instead of hearing all the crud that we have to hear on TV and the other stations, the FME's guys and stuff that really don't drive anything home but hate and discontent. I don't understand it. You hear Obama sits out there saying how good he did and how wonderful I was and everybody ought to love me more and we're going to get Michelle elected one of these days. No, it's so wonderful. I'm so tired of hearing his voice. And I had no hate for him. I just didn't like his stance. He did not help America. He divided us more than any president in the past. And here we've got Trump who's trying to unite and help. And you've got all this negative that comes from the press. And they are a bought and paid for organization anymore. They're not a free press anymore. They just prove that every day what they do. So, Kevin, we love you. Glad you're here. We hope you're here for many, many years. You just stay healthy and strong so you can do the good job that you're doing. Yeah.
God bless you and your family, Patriot Ray.
God bless you, my friend, and your family. Give your sweetheart a hug for me. She's awesome. So you take care of her, too.
I will. God bless, my friend.
God bless you. Have a good day.
You too. Happy Thanksgiving. Kevin Miller, KIDO Talk Radio. And before we get to, bringing back former President Obama, I want to thank everybody in the service industry. And I want to thank everybody who is traveling, the first responders, the entertainers, people that are working during this holiday. It's funny, I caught myself yesterday, and I think we have ourselves conditioned to a degree where we've got to rush and get home and do all these things. And then you just sit around doing nothing at home. So like you, and again, we're chasing down Miniger, Mike Miniger. We'll see if he's going to join us. I'm sure he will. Just take it safe. We're going to be at the Cathedral of the Rockies with our friends, the Boise Rescue Mission. If you'd like to see how your turkeys have paid off and to feed Treasure Valley families, we'll be there. There'll be dignitaries. I believe Governor-elect Brad Little will be there. Mark Johnson, who does a terrific job from Channel 7. He actually sings and provides the entertainment. Coach Harsin brings the Broncos, and you'll have the press there. But for me, I love watching the staff and the volunteers and the people that have gone through the program. I just love to sit there and just see the magic of God's work. And I posted the video from last year at KIDO Talk Radio or on my Facebook, Kevin Miller. You can check that out. You can go to our YouTube channel and see that as well. But for those of you that, like me, have spent many a holiday by yourself working, I can remember one time in Tennessee, I would go into work, and everybody hated working with me because I'd work every holiday, sometimes double shifts. In fact, I can remember one year in Birmingham where I worked the morning, the afternoon, and the night show. People felt so bad they brought their own Thanksgiving dinner there. I can remember one in particular where I was surrounded by my beloved Alabama and Carolina, and we had rotisserie chicken. And I thought to myself, I was just thankful to be with them. And in this world that we live in today, I just ask you to please pause, and I don't have to give you advice. Heck, I learn more from you than you do from me. But to be thankful for those people that are around the table and pray for them, and remember the people that aren't around the table. There are many people that are spending their first Thanksgiving without loved ones, without people that have been there through thick and thin, maybe grandparents, parents, someone in their lives. And for you that are listening, know that you're not alone, know that you are loved, and know that we are with you. Know that you're in my prayers. I pray for each and every one of our wonderful family here every night. And I thank you. And for people that are working the service business, thank you. You're making a difference. You're allowing us to enjoy. Just a few thoughts on this Thanksgiving. And, of course, we're going to have Glenn and Dave and Sean and Billy and Willie and Timmy and Lars and the rest. But just a human note. Sometimes in the media, people forget. You have to do the funny shtick with the turkey and such. And I'm not talking about me. I'm talking about, hey, this is my butterball recipe. Or you cover the issues. But in the end, what makes what this radio station has stood for 90 years, and we are just a temporary keeper of the flame, what makes it so special is people understanding the needs, wants, and championing those of our great community. I go back to, again, I want to thank Art Gregory and our friend Joe Bell and David Ferdinand for educating me on the history of this station. High school kids started this. I don't think there's another station in the country that was started by high school kids. And when people talk about the power of radio, there's none greater. For without us, there would be no television. There'd be no FM. There'd be no Facebook. In fact, really, what is Facebook but a pale imitation of talk radio? And that's who we honor in our 90th year as Idaho's first radio station. And whether it's President Roosevelt, who was interviewed on KIDO Talk Radio, or President Trump, who we're chasing to be interviewed on KIDO Talk Radio, we carry on that tradition, as you do in your family and your place of work. And to the military folks, the older we all get, the more we seem to know what we don't know. But I am so impressed when I see folks, and maybe it's that transition in life when you see people in authority that are actually younger than you. When you see the young private first class or seaman or airman or Marine or Coast Guard, and they're wearing that uniform, traveling, getting ready to go home. That's the magic of America that is lost on Washington and all these protests. But that is what binds us together. These brilliant young people, and some not so young, that continue to serve. As I've said before, thanks to everyone who volunteers, whether you're volunteering to save animals, educate adults, feed the homeless, do something for your church. You don't make the cover of Time magazine, but God bless you for giving of your time, for actually being selfless instead of selfish, which is primarily most of us in this world. Again, the beauty of Idaho that we get the chance to celebrate giving. We're second to Utah. Well, watch out, Utah. We're coming for you when it comes to charitable giving, when it comes to making the world a better place. That's our mission each and every day. How can we improve the Treasure Valley? But anyway, I digress. I'm rambling a little. I could go to Obama's going after Trump, but we want to share with you a happy thought. So, and to the parents and grandparents, the foster parents, the step parents, the guardians, the people that see a kid and say, man, I got to take a chance on him or her, or adopting a pet, you should be commended. And no matter what, no matter when, God bless you and God bless our country. And we will continue to champion the cause of America and continue to protect the great traditional American values that we have here in Idaho. 107.5 FM, 580 AM, KIDO Talk Radio.